be actually uploading some YouTube content based off of setting this outpost up, the various stages, things that I'm doing. I currently only have the first point into outpost engineering. I've been trying to do as much as I can. I'm ready to level it up, but I first want to document things that I've been able to show off. Here, let me do this. We'll see what we can do here. So I did show off the outpost tower. I can show that off real quick for those that maybe haven't seen this. And Wolf, appreciate you shouting out the YouTube channel. And as we hear and coming in, we have the cargo ship. I have some of that set up over here. Unfortunately, people probably noticed this. This is a visual glitch. Well, it's not just visual. It takes shape. You actually can jump on this. But I know I'm not the only person that has this happen, where your containers, instead of having, you know, this going on, for some reason it just pops out, you know? That's okay. In any case, so we got our cargo ships. I have a lot of stuff placed, and my budget is good. I found out, unfortunately, that the little extenders, the hallways, these things cost a stupid amount of budget. If you don't need to use these, please don't. Please don't. But we'll give a quick tour of this. What I like to call home. This is the base that I'd like to operate out of. I apologize. You'll probably get dizzy halfway up these stairs. So if you want to just close your eyes for the next minute and not get dizzy, hey, it's okay with me. I'm going to stare at the stairs. I'm going to stare at stair. And just do this for the next 47 flights. Alright, so now that we're almost up there, I lose count halfway up. Okay, now that we're up here, a quick explanation, a quick lore building, what is supposed to be in this location. When you are given this building piece, you are just given the Watchtower. It takes you up here, there's nothing like extra it gives you, it's just a shell, so anything you see here is something that I placed. I wanted to give it a story, I wanted to get something to kind of get the creative juices flowing, and I was like, alright, let me picture it as an outpost for 2 people, maybe. Maybe these 2 people, and a perfect example, let's say it's Sarah over here and myself. Maybe we have to be on lookout. Maybe it's 12-hour shifts, I don't know, maybe like we take turns, we take rest, whatever we gotta do. So, knowing that leading in, if there's any companions up here, ignore them, because there's also like a workbench. But to kind of keep the idea, when you do come up here, you do kind of have the... Oh yeah, that's one of the companions right over there. That's, you know what, it works well. We get to have this look a little bit more lively. But you do have their operating station. When you place this, I think it's only the fan that's on here. Every other little decor and things that you see in here I've placed. I tried making it seem like you can operate out of here if you need to get some quick tools or anything like that. It is available. I did want to put the mission board, not just for the normal stuff, but the constellation mission board. Quick way to access stuff. You're able to view 360 degrees, so every once in a while you'll notice that there's like a stool. If you're out here watching, looking, trying to make sure your base is protected, you want to make sure somebody's got an eye for miles to, you know, in the distance. Well, perfect. We have Sarah, we have the outpost manager over here. We're on break though, this is the break room. What I'd like to do is actually put the symbols, or not the symbols, the game pieces on the symbol mat over there. We'll see. That'll be one of the next things I do. I have to test out to see how long it takes for things to clip through. Unfortunately, there are certain items that have already... Even this party cup that I'm staring at was halfway through the table at one point. So if at any point you see something like this, kind of floating, or going through the furniture, well, that's not intentional. That over time has a chance of going through.
Glad to be a part of the team.
Even these deck of cards are a little popped out, but not a big deal. So for anybody that's interested in starting to decorate your own outpost to any degree, just be mindful that stuff is probably going to clip through. And these are placed items. I didn't just drop them in. I individually went and kind of picked them up through the build mode and was like, okay, I want to put it here. I feel like that helps keep things from like clipping through. If you place stuff even on surfaces, there's a chance that your followers will bump into them and kind of knock them off as well. So this is good. I didn't actually get to see this until now. I had to move the stool a little closer, a little closer, a little closer. I feel like right now they're reacting to just a normal table being on top, so you can kind of fake it. You can kind of make it look like they're just kind of resting on the edges when they don't really interact with it that well, or that way. And it actually looks pretty well. So we get a quick look at the newest ship that I've been working on. I've been having fun with it. I feel like it's not as effective, efficient as the others, but it's the newest toy to mess with. We do have the navigation console. This is another extension of, we'll call it, our operations and command center, things like that. Let's say we have people over here at the outpost patching through to me while I'm on my adventures, letting me know what's going on. And then over here we have the living area. Before I go into that way though, I'm going to approach from the other side.
All is well, Captain.
Thank you, Outpost Engineer with no name. So, welcome to kind of the living situation here. I will say placing things like plants on shelves is not easy. You'll be able to place probably the first one on this row, and then struggle to get this one, and you'll probably have to jump on something to get the top row placed. Good luck. If you figure out how to get the bottom rows without some crazy merging technique, yeah, you let me know that too, but we've been able to place a few things here. An inviting entrance, a limited amount of space. We wanted to make it compact. You need to have your sleeping area, your bathroom, your prep area. We don't have really a shower in here. I gotta figure that out. But for quick, just getting what you need to done, we'll say this is the effective kind of bathroom space. A little bit of decoration goes a long way. A lot of stuff that I've collected on my travels I've put aside, and after starting to decorate, I feel like everything that I own to a degree has a place. But now that I have stuff like this set up and actual things placed, it helps me think like, okay, I need to find more of this item. So I'll be decorating this even further. And again, the budget is very favorable. I can't even tell if placing these individual items is eating up my budget. The furniture definitely does, but not that bad either, so I'd have to see. But again, my current budget, I found out that the biggest killer that I had was basically the connecting hallways. I used to have another set of 3 or 4 hallways here, something going on here, and then another hallway. Why is this so loud today? What are you doing, bud? Hi. Yeah, land, thank you. We were trying to explain this. Yeah, so I had another, what, like 6 at the least hallways? And that kills your budget. You can place multiple hubs instead of hallways. I feel like a hallway actually costs more than a hub, if I had to guess. For whatever reason, that was happening. So basically just deleted them, and now have refined my base. My base is still pretty big, considering I feel like you should kind of like place something, maybe like decorate it and then move on. Maybe design kind of sectionally, if you will. Go section by section and then place things, where I kind of slapped everything down and I was like, okay, how am I going to fill up this giant treasure box of stuff? Alright, well that ship takes off. Let's head on back. Sarah, let's go. Alright. So again, we have our cargo over there. I do have certain extractors set up along the perimeter. So before even getting into the inside, this location has multiple resources, and I encourage people to find as many resources as you can. I have, what is it? Water you can get, that's easy. Cobalt, copper, nickel, and tungsten. All of these are kind of split along the edges. So then what I did was I made 3 extractors of each one and then connected it to this storage, and then from here, considering you can use 2 of the resources to make isomagnets, cobalt and nickel, I have it set up where both of those resources are being divvied up and being made and stored over here. I don't often stock up on a bunch and craft them, but this past weekend I recorded a video where I think I made like 15,000 of them or something. By all means, that did not make me rich, but it definitely helped put some credits in my pocket that I kind of needed, and I got a good amount of XP. Nothing crazy. We're not going for 100, but you know, GG's to those out there hitting those levels. I'm at 42 right now. It definitely helped me get a few extra levels just making the resources. You pick them up, you go to a bed, you sleep, you fill them up, you repeat a few times. Along the way you collect the spoils, right? Right now I'm good though. Right now I am good. And then considering I only have rank 1 of Outpost Engineering, which luckily enough is in the top corner, I can only place, I think it's what, commercial? The next one's industrial extractors. So if I go to my extractors, not all of them, but I've started to replace old ones. These are commercial extractors. This is technically tier 2, and then some of these I have not changed yet. So the normal default extractor, like tungsten, I still need to swap out. I only swapped out one of them, so this is the commercial. This will be the next one up. If I then upgrade my outpost management one more time, and then research the appropriate things, I will be able to upgrade this one more time to the industrial. And then I think there's an even larger one, but for my needs, I don't need to produce things really faster. Sleeping in a bed is just as fine. You know, I feel like if you're trying to mass produce things too, you're going to need to be sleeping in a bed, whether it's one extra tick of you sleeping or you know, not. I don't think it's going to make a big deal, but I'm going to check that out later. And then for a very quick tour of what I've been working on, I'm going to give you guys a sneak peek. It's not like an MTV Cribs or anything like that, but a little sneak peek of what I've been working on, what I plan to do. I'm going to try to make a series of videos for the YouTube channel to kind of document things that I've done. Definitely share ideas with people in the community, see what they've come up with. My other outpost that I had set up had kind of a lobby area. I'm going to do something very similar to here, or from over there to here, so we'll see if we can copy paste that stuff. I do like the views that you're able to get. This is actually one of the few locations that you can see as much, just because I use these other large habitat spaces that, even though they have windows, you don't get to see out as much. I wish you could swap out the roof. For you to have like a sunroof and see like the planets in the background, I think would be real nice. But let's go inside. Welcome to the beginning of the control station. This is going to be an area that's supposed to function in multiple ways. This is supposed to show off a collection of goods. It will be operated every once in a while. You'll see one of the outpost people that are assigned here. They'll come over here, they'll interact with that. Love to see that. Want to make the place seem lively, but there's still a lot that I need to place in this location. I kind of just started off by placing different display cases on the outsides. I'm going to tell people right now, do not be scared if you place display shelves and then one day you log in and stuff is missing, because I had it happen where a few things were gone. Let's say on this shelf, if there's 9 succulents on this display shelf, I had a few of them missing over here. I could tell right away. Basically kept playing the game, did some other stuff, saved, came back after loading up the game, and things were back. So don't panic. I'm not sure if there really is a capacity.
Always look like this.
Oh, hello, Sarah. If there's a capacity of how many before it starts freaking out, but just keep that in mind. It may disappear on you. But in addition to different collections I want to show off of just odds and ends of different rarities, I started placing just very minimal things in here just to get an idea of what I wanted it to be. So keep that in the back of your mind, as that'll be the central hub for multiple things. I'm going to leave the most developed for last, and we'll do the tour in a reverse manner. This is going to be my armory. I know, it seems like I've done so much already. Well, soon. The very basics would be just placing some things down, getting the ideas going. I'll probably have more display cases showing off guns. You can't have too many display like mannequins, which kind of I don't understand. It's like they encourage you to show off so many things with the display cases, but then limit you with mannequins. I don't know. So I'd like to set this up in terms of more of like an armory, not necessarily a barracks, but just more of like an armory, just showing off gear, things like that. Over here, this is the future library, kind of slash lobby. This also is kind of in the core of everything. This is actually the direct core of everything. I wish I could swap out the roof for some sort of sunroof, right? But this is kind of the center. Now just continuing along clockwise. This is the future med station, if you will. If you need to go into the infirmary or anything like that, you're going to be sent over here. So it's not finished. There's actually items that I've just kind of placed, like these little office partitions, and then cabinets, things that I'm considering using. The workstations that I think would make sense in here besides the pharmaceutical lab, I'm like, yeah, we'll throw in some research labs, try to dress it up. A lot of this is still kind of ideas pasted in to what I'm thinking. So I'm kind of showing the thought process, and then over time this will transform even more. I'm going to wind up putting, let's say, different partitions, try to put like the beds maybe in one corner. Over time this will definitely shape up. Continuing clockwise, this is supposed to be just kind of a quick workshop if I need it. I have all the different stations. This is going to be one of the last things that I work on, considering what I'm going to do is almost each of these will have a different location for them. I still need to reallocate a cooking station location. You'll see that soon. The spacesuit and the weapons workbench will be together. The industrial workbench I'll probably put somewhere else, and then the pharmaceutical already is in the infirmary. But in terms of having a workshop, I want all these items in here, and this is on the opposite entrance. So if I ever need to fly into my base and I'm trying to be efficient, well, I don't want to have to go through and, go through the first door, do some stuff, go into one room, make something, go back, go to the other room, do something else, go over there, forgot that I left something over here, something like that. When I can just go in through this door, I can have all the stations that I need, make what I need, and then leave. So that's kind of the thought process over here. This will again be the last thing that I probably work on. Hello, where did you just come from? I'm confused. You were outside wearing a spacesuit a second ago? Is this outside in the corner? Sorry, keep distracting me. This is just general kind of bathroom stuff. As I'm going to probably dedicate a certain corner of the base for a bathroom station, something like that. Yeah, I just wanted to place a few things over here. Even this stuff, kind of more like, where am I going to put these throughout the base? I have a very similar approach to building in 76, where like I'll go through the categories and try to place as many things as I can and be like, okay, where would I want this if I want it? And then if it's not for me, I'll delete it and move on to the next item. But I have kind of, by that point, seen the size and scope of everything. So this is kind of the greenhouse, but kind of just like a plant room, because why wouldn't you want just a nice little plant room? You do get more plants at further tiers, so I'll try to fill this room up even more. Love the idea of just kind of filling this up with plants and just having this not even being like a botany station, but just there's just plants. So more on that soon. And here we have kind of the final stop, but I'm going to enter from the opposite side. As I was mentioning, I needed to move still the cooking station. I'll say welcome to kind of my kitchen, kind of my eating area. It's still evolving. I do need to actually put that cooking station in here, as we're only using one of the portable stovetops to cook stuff. It would be so much easier if we had an actual station, right? But I kind of use each of these as an opportunity to display a bunch of different things, and not just display things. I utilize certain stations as categories, if you will. So for example, in this whole kitchen cafeteria space, when you go into the containers, you'll find items that make sense in that space. So it's, even if I could technically sell half of these things, if I ever decide to show off, I don't know, more bread, more naan, or anything like that, I have them nice and neatly organized. I, for the most part, know where everything is in my camp, even though there's like 64 different crates to hide everything, you know? But we have our collection, we have our kitchen, cafeteria, and much more that's been evolving. I feel like every time I've played, I've been adding just a little bit more, adding a little bit more detail each time, even if it's just not seen on the surface, but more as you interact, you kind of notice things. I've had a lot of fun doing this. It's stuff like this in games that I really like, and then it's like, okay, how do you make it believable? And after seeing a lot of different camps in 76, I really want to see what the community comes up with. I feel like the way they have it set up, if you manage your budget the right way, you'll never be done setting up your camp. You'll always be like adding more and more and more to it. You'll be decorating more scenes. Unless that's not it, like you're not into that, then hey, you just keep kind of skating by and you make the most efficient thing. But if you want to take the time, if you want to sink some hours in, just displaying different things, giving your own personal flair, your own personal touch to stuff, it's been a good time, and I definitely look forward to sharing more of these with the community and seeing what the community comes up with. So yeah, definitely share some screenshots, share some ideas, because that's just going to drive people to create even more stuff, and it'll be like, oh, that person just set this up in this way? Okay, that gives me even more ideas. So more on this soon. I'll have another base at some point. What I'll do is I'll calculate all the resources that I need to make a bunch of things, and then bring them and just make it all in one go. But for this base, I wanted large spaces, and then the smaller spaces are more just to be like, okay, what's going on outside? Just light stuff, the infirmary. And that's my TED Talk. So hope you guys enjoyed this preview. I went way more in depth than I thought I was going to. But yeah, I hope this kind of sparks some inspiration, some conversations. And real quick, I was talking about the hallways. The only reason this location has hallways, the outcropping, the rocks that I found here, are why I chose this location. I managed to place my base directly in the middle with the little pylon thing, and then from there I placed I didn't even place this first. I tried placing this first, but it wouldn't let me. I had to basically not cheese it, but I had to place like this, put a hallway, put this. Sometimes it would remove one, it would remove the other, or the other, and I sat there for like 20 minutes figuring this shit out. And then just to kind of have some like decorative feel to it, a gerbil, a hamster house if you will. And then ignore all this crap over here because that's too much for me. But yeah, I don't know what to call this outpost. The outpost name is basically just its resources. I have to come up with a design name for each of these. At some point, I'll just have another one of these, but the smaller ones, and I'll call it like Hive House. I don't want to call this one that, but like having a bunch of these next to each other, that'll be the next plan. Hive House. And then I could technically even connect these further, but less is more, you know?